Hi everyone. So today is the day 9 of September Lead Coding Challenge, and on this day 9 we have been given this problem, that is largest plus sign. So like in this problem, like we have been given an integer n, and we have got n cross n binary greed, and it has been called greed, and all the values are initially 1, except there are some mines, and these mines will be provided to us in the form of a vector of vector, and yeah. So these vector of vector will contain like this inner vector that this minds vector will contain of two numbers. Those will symbolize the x and y coordinates of the grid, where the value is 0. So other than these minds, like the value is 1 everywhere. And what we need to do, we need to return the order of the largest axis aligned plus sign of ones contained in the grid. So by this largest axis aligned plus, so let us understand what is this axis aligned plus. So basically we need to return a plus that is aligned to x and y axis. So suppose we are making a plus like that diagonally, so that won't be counted as a axis aligned plus. So we need to make a plus something like this. Let me explain. Yeah, so basically if we are making a plus something like this, so that won't be counted. So we just need to make plus in this way, and we need to return the maximum order of plus that can be made this way. So basically by maximum order, it means that there should be x. So order of plus is basically the x number of cells to the up from the center, including center, x number of cells to the down, towards the down, and towards the left direction, and towards the right direction. So there must be minimum x cells, and all these x cells should be should be presented like as a continuous subarray. Like there shouldn't be any zero in between. And if there is any more one towards any end, that is okay. Like we need only minimum x cells in each of the 4 directions. So let us see how, and among all these axis aligned pluses that are possible in this grid, we need to return the largest order of axis of plus that is possible in this grid. So in this problem, like in the example given, like there is only one mine that is here, and the largest order of axis, like the largest plus that can be formed, is of order 2. So there may be a, it is possible to form a order 2 plus here also, but the answer will remain same because we need to return the largest order of the plus, like that is possible. So this is the problem statement. We can now take a look to the constraints. So n is at max 500, and the mine's length is at max 5000, and these x and y can have so since these are coordinates, so these will basically be varying from 0 to n minus 1, and all these pairs that are given in the mines are unique. So we can do something like this. So the brute force way is to start from any cell, and count how many cells towards the left we can go. Suppose we are counting the plus that can be formed, the plus of the largest order that can be formed centered at this cell. Then we will find the number of cells that we can go towards the right, that will have only ones, and number of cells we can go towards the left, towards the right. So we will first go left, count the number of cells, and we will then go right, then we will count the number of cells, then we will go up, and then we will go down. And among all these 4 quantities, we can take the minimum to find the order of the plus possible at this center. So among all these among all the plus possible at each of the centers, there will be n squared centers, right? So among all these stars possible at each of the centers, we need to find the maximum of the all the orders, and then that will be the answer. So if we'll analyze the time complexity of this approach, so basically for finding the number of ones towards the left, and number of right toward number of cells, number of ones towards the right, well, each of them can take n iterations in worst case. And since we are doing it in the 4 directions, then like for each star we will have 4n iterations, right? And since there are n squared star, so like there will be these many iterations at max. So this is basically an order n cube like algorithm. And seeing the constraints, we can say that this won't be able to pass all the test cases, or it may also pay. No, it can pass the test cases. Yeah, so we can implement this also. And basically, like, actually there is a one more optimal way to solve this problem, and we can solve this problem in order n squared also. So basically we will be looking at this order n squared solution. However, like if we will implement this order n cube solution, then like we can easily pass the test cases. So let us see how we can optimize this solution. So like we can see that at every center we are checking how much towards the left we can move if we are only checking for once, and we are similarly doing for left and right. And if we can see that for this center also, we will be checking these cells, and for this center also we will be checking these cells if we will be going towards the left. So we can see that there is kind of possible overlap of the like computations that we are doing. So like we can try to minimize the computations that are being done repeatedly. So let me show you, let me give you an overview like what I am saying. So suppose we are like suppose like we are checking for all these centers, we will be finding the left like how much towards the left we can move, right, if we are only going through the ones. And for all of them we are doing at most n iterations, and for this row we will do n we will do these n iterations for n number of stars. So like this, the left operations will like take order n squared time for completing in each row. So we can like optimize this whole thing in order 1, because like we can use the left span from this for this cell to calculate it for this cell. So how is it possible? Like suppose there are x cells possible towards the left from starting from this cell, and we want to calculate the number of x cell for this cell. So if just in case it is 1, then since there are x cells, x consecutive ones possible towards the left from this cell, then there will be obviously x plus 1 cells possible from this cell. And if it is 0, then like since we are encountering 0 at here, so there will be only 0 cells towards the left. So this is what we will be using for calculating the left of each cell in each row. So since we are doing only order 1 iteration for calculating the left span of each of the center, this whole computation of left for each of the cells will take order n time, and for all these whole grid it will take order n square time. And similarly, using similar approach for calculating the right, we can depend on this cell, right of this cell. Like by right I mean right span of this cell. So we can, if suppose the right span of this cell is y, so that means like there are y consecutive ones present towards the right of this cell. So if there is 1 present at this cell, then there will be y plus 1 cells, cells containing 1 present towards the right of this cell. And if just in case it is 0, then there will be 0 cells present towards the right in this cell. So this is how we will be calculating the right span of each cell. So that will also take order n squared. And similarly, we can calculate the top span using the top span of the cell just above of each cell. And for calculating the down span, we can use the down span of the cell just below of that cell, and all of them will take order n squared time. So this will basically be a order 4 into n squared algorithm. So we can ignore the 4. So this whole computation pre-computation will take order n squared time. And now in the end we can do what we can like it check for each of the centers, and we can take minimum of the left, right, up and down span of each cell to find the order of the star possible plus possible at the at each cell. And we can like this will be just an order one operation, because like we will be only doing 4 iterations, so it will be an order one operation. And we can check for all these n squared cells centers, and this step will also take order n squared work. So the overall time complexity of this algorithm will be order n squared. So this is a standard DP problem. So we can try to implement this. So let us start implementing it. So since we have already given n, we want need to like store the size dimension of the grid. And first of all, we will be making a grid, because like having the mines in this vector form will cause problem in this pre-computation. So first of all, we will be making a grid. It will be a 2D vector, and I will initialize it with 1, because initially every cell has got 1 as its value except the mines. So this will ensure that we have got a n cross n grid with initialized with 1s. Now we need to iterate over the mines, and I'll be considering every mine present in the mines, and for every mine I'll be setting that value to 0. So grid, so the x coordinate can be accessed by mine 0 and the y can be accessed by mine 1. So this is 1, this is 0. So we have got the grid. Now we'll need the n cross n matrices, like n cross n grids basically. So these are DP grids, because we will be using dynamic programming for calculating value of each of the grids. So we can initially set them as 0. So this will contain the left span of every cell in the grid. This will similarly contain the right span, and there will be one for up, and there will be one for down. So we need to like kind of pre-compute all these 4 matrices. So we are doing pre-computation, and yeah. So let us calculate first of all the left grid. And now we will be first checking whether the grid is 0 or not. So like if grid is 0, then the left, right, top, bottom, all these span will be also 0. So in that case, we can, since we have initialized this all these 4 matrices with 0, we don't need to do anything in that case. We can only check whether the grid is 0 or not. So if the grid is not 0, then we will check, then the left of this I comma j will be 1 plus left of I comma j minus 1. But we need to be careful, because this j can be 0 also. So this whole thing like this will become -1, and we will get array index out of bounds error. So we'll add a check that we'll be only using this value if j is greater than 0, and if j is greater than 0, then this value, and if j is not greater than 0, if j is equal to 0, then we will be like using 0 instead of this value. So this thing will calculate the left, and now we need to calculate the right. So for calculating the right, we will need the right span of these cells first before calculating this cell. So we will be iterating from the rightwards. So this j will start from n-1, and we will iterate until it becomes 0. Now we again need to do the same thing. we'll be first checking where the grid I comma j is 0 or not. So if it is not 0, then this right I comma j will be 1 more than the right of I comma j plus 1. Now like the same thing is similar to this problem. Like we will have that we will have problem if this j is minus n minus 1. So this will again give us array index out of bounds. So we need to check whether the j is less than n minus 1 or not. Or we can check whether the j plus 1 is less than n or not. So if j plus 1 is less than n, then we can use it. Otherwise, we will use 0. Like we can use this thing, because like this will be more easier to understand why we have added this condition. And yeah, so this will calculate the right. Now we need to calculate the up vector. For like calculating the up vector, we need to calculate this quantity first for calculating this quantity, because this cell will be using up of this cell for calculating the up of this cell. So we will be like using the we will be going down the row for every column. So we need to iterate for every column first, and inside a column we can iterate from top to bottom. So we can use j here. So we are considering all the columns, and these are 4 rows. So this row, this I will go from I to n minus 1, basically from top to bottom. And again we need to check whether the grid is 0 or not. So if grid is not 0, like we can continue. Similarly, this will be 1 more than the up of I minus 1 comma j. And now we again need to ensure that this I minus 1 quantity is greater than equal to 0. So we can check. So this, if this I minus 1 is greater than equal to 0, then we will use this value. Otherwise we can use 0. So yeah, this will calculate the up. And again, now for calculating the down, we will consider all the columns. And for calculating the down of every cell, we need the down of the cell below of that cell. So we will be iterating from I equal to n minus 1 to 0 in the backward direction. So this I will start from n minus 1. This I will terminate if I will be equal to 0. And again we need to check whether the grid is 0 or not. So if the grid is not 0, then the down of I comma j will be 1 more than the down of I plus 1 comma j. And again we need to ensure this I plus 1 is within limits. So I plus 1 should be less than n to prevent array index out of bounds. So this I plus 1, if I plus 1 is less than n, then we will be using this quantity, this value. Otherwise we will be using 0. So all these 4 pre-computation, like all this computation pre-computation has done, so we can construct the answer. So I will initialize the answer as 0, and I will like consider every star possible at each of the centers. So this I and j are basically symbolizing all the cells of the grid. And yeah, I can, so I was using word star. So basically instead of star there should be plus. So whenever like I used word star, like think of that I wanted to say plus, right? So I'm using plus to denote the order of the plus that can be formed at that center. So it will be minimum of left I comma j and right I comma j. And yeah, this plus will be also minimum of up of I comma j and down of I comma j. So you can also write it in one line also, but we will have to nest this mean conditions. So this will like calculate the minimum of all these four values, and now we need to update our answer. So just in case this plus is more than the answer will become equal to this. Otherwise, answer will return the same. Like answer will remain the same. So we can return the answer. So the overall time complexity is order n squared, and space complexity is also order n squared, because we are using these n squared grids. They are in fact 5 grids. So basically it is 5 into n squared. So we can ignore the constants. So we can try to run it on the sample test cases to check for the compilation error. And yeah, it is working. We can submit it. Yeah, it got accepted. So see you guys on the day 10 of the September lead coding challenge. Until then, keep lead coding.